Was Joan Vollmer's death really an accident?
The bullet that killed Joan Vollmer was a .380 caliber. Both of the stories that William Burroughs told the Mexican police in 1951 turned her death into an accident. First, he admitted that they were playing William Tell when the bullet dipped low and hit her in the head. Then, he claimed his gun accidentally went off when he dropped it, and the bullet struck Joan. But did Burroughs intend to kill his wife? In an interview, Burroughs said, "I aimed for the top of the glass. It was a very inaccurate gun." And as Will Self has argued, the hypothesis of murderous impulsiveness makes more sense than an impromptu accident. In a 1986 interview with Rolling Stone, Burroughs said, "All my life I've never considered committing suicide. I'd rather make a list of people to kill than go out and shoot myself." And in 1997, not long before his death,
Burroughs blamed an ugly spirit for Joan's death.
For the rest of his life, Burroughs mythologized the death of Joan Vollmer. He claimed that it turned him into a writer, ignoring the fact that he began writing Junkie a year before he shot Joan. Burroughs also absolved himself of responsibility, blaming instead an ugly spirit inside of him. Mexico didn't agree. Burroughs was convicted in absentia of manslaughter after he fled the country and sentenced to 2 years in jail. He never returned to the country, eventually settling in Lawrence, KS, where he died in 1997 of a heart attack.
Burroughs called Vollmer the smartest person around.
William Burroughs and Joan Vollmer were both troubled, self-destructive people. They were also both brilliant. Burroughs described Vollmer as intelligent and insightful. "She was a very extraordinary woman, and we got talking, exchanging ideas. She was the smartest person around. She had an immediate insight into anyone's character. Just one look and she knew." In spite of the fact that Burroughs was primarily interested in men, he fell in love with Vollmer. Joan is primarily remembered today as a footnote in Burroughs's history. However, she was an important contributor to the Beat movement, memorialized in writings by Kerouac, and a writer in her own right. Vollmer wrote poetry, and some have suggested that her death was no accident.
Burroughs palled around with other Beat writers like Kerouac and Ginsberg.
Jack Kerouac and Allen Ginsberg introduced Burroughs to Vollmer, and they helped Burroughs's writing career after her death. Both supported Burroughs as he wrote Naked Lunch, which was banned by the government in the U.S. until 1962 because of its content. Burroughs also had many relationships with men, and Ginsberg was among his lovers. Together, they were the core of the Beat generation. Their works challenged culture by pushing nonconformity. They were open about their drug use. Burroughs has been called self-deluded and narcissistic, yet perceptive about the sickness of the world, a description that applied equally to the other Beat writers. And for Burroughs, killing Joan Vollmer became part of his mythology.
Burroughs introduced his son to drugs with tragic results.
Young Billy was only 4 years old when his father shot his mother, and he was only 16 when his father introduced him to drugs. William S. Burroughs spirited Billy off to Tangiers as a teenager, where Billy began doing drugs with Burroughs' blessing. Billy, too, became a writer, and like his father, he wrote about what he knew: drugs, alcohol, and addiction. Amphetamines were Billy's drug of choice for years. In his early 30s, Billy was lucky enough to receive a liver transplant for cirrhosis, but it didn't break the self-destructive cycle. Billy was only 33 years old when he died in 1981. His father responded by returning to heroin.
Burroughs wrote a memoir about his drug use.
Junkie was originally published under the pseudonym William Lee. It is a thinly veiled memoir of Burroughs' own experience with heroin. He tells stories of robbing people on the subway to buy drugs and trying to break his addiction. The narrator describes coming off heroin in Mexico City. Every morning when I woke up, I washed down Benzedrine, Sanison, and a piece of hop with black coffee and a shot of tequila. Then I lay back and closed my eyes and tried to piece together the night before and yesterday. The memoir makes no mention of the fatal shooting of Joan Vollmer.
Burroughs fled from Mexico and published his first novel.
After the shooting, Burroughs was locked in a Mexican jail for 13 days while his family got together bail money. His lawyer, Bene Jurado, told Burroughs to lie to the police. Burroughs went along, telling them that the gun went off accidentally. Before the case came to trial, his own lawyer shot someone in a fit of road rage and fled the country. Burroughs followed, heading to Central America, London, and Tangiers. Burroughs' family took in his son, Billy, and provided the unstable writer with a regular stipend to fuel his travels. They were heirs to a small fortune earned by Burroughs' grandfather, who created an adding machine. The Daily News headline about Joan's death read, "Heir's pistol kills his wife. He denies playing William Tell." Within 2 years, in 1953, Burroughs published his first novel, Junkie: Confessions of an Unredeemed Drug Addict, which was later released as Junkie.
Joan balanced a glass on her head, and William fired.
On September 6, 1951, Burroughs suggested the William Tell Act, and Joan played along. It was their first time trying out the act. Joan balanced a glass of gin on top of her head in the middle of the party. Burroughs, a lifelong gun lover, always carried a weapon. At night he had an 380 caliber automatic pistol. He positioned himself 9 feet away from his wife. The bullet didn't hit the glass. Instead, because Burroughs' hand wavered, the shot hit Joan in the head, killing her instantly.
Unlike William Tell, William Burroughs missed.
According to lore, William Tell helped found Switzerland by shooting an apple off his son's head. The year was 1307, and Tell was a local farmer and hunter. The act was a defiant repudiation of the Habsburg Duke of Austria, who controlled Switzerland and demanded that every man remove his hat in front of the Habsburg sign. When William Tell refused, the Habsburg bailiff forced him to shoot an apple off his son's head, or both would be put to death. Tell successfully shot the apple off his son's head, and was valorized for centuries. But when William Burroughs took a shot at his wife, Joan Vollmer, he missed.
Joan used alcohol to get through speed withdrawal.
Joan used alcohol to get through speed withdrawal.
Joan and William had a drug-fueled romance.
Joan and William had a drug-fueled romance.
Burroughs said he became a writer because Joan died without mentioning he killed her.
Burroughs said he became a writer because Joan died without mentioning he killed her.
Hey guys, thank you so much for the support and likes and comments down below, and also thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Then take care, bye.